So did you catch that crazy surge in Adani Group stocks today? I mean, it was like a roller coaster, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It was pretty dramatic. Adani Power, I think, really led the charge, jumping over 19%, which is, quite a bounce back from the previous day's losses.
Exactly. And it wasn't just Adani Power, right? I saw that Adani Green Energy, Adani Energy Solutions, and even Adani Total Gas hit those upper circuit limits. It's like the market was suddenly super optimistic about them.
Well, there are a few things going on. First of all, the whole market seemed to rebound after a few days of decline. So that definitely helped. But more specifically, the Adani Group announced a massive 65,000 crore rupee investment in their Chhattisgarh project, which is a huge deal.
Right. So that's what sparked the sudden investor confidence, huh? I guess that shows that when companies make big moves, it can really affect the share prices.
Yeah, and it's not just the over investment, it's where they are putting that money. They're planning to expand power generation capacity by 6,120 megawatts in Chhattisgarh and also develop cement plants. It's like they're really doubling down on growth.
Okay, that makes sense. It seems like a pretty significant move. So they're not just throwing money around, they're expanding actual operations, right?
Precisely. Adani Power has a goal to double their thermal power capacity to 30.67 gigawatts by 2029 to 30. And this investment in Chhattisgarh aligns perfectly with that strategy. It's, quite ambitious.
Wow, that's a massive jump. So the market is essentially betting on Adani's expansion paying off in a big way, I guess.
Yeah, and it's not just about power plants, I think, because the group has also committed another 5,000 crore rupees towards developing and expanding its cement plants in the same state.
Oh, I didn't realize that. So it's like a two-pronged approach, increasing both energy and construction capabilities. That's quite strategic, right?
Yes, and this large scale investment demonstrates, I guess, a significant push for industrial growth in Chhattisgarh, and it shows they are actively working on future expansion.
That's really interesting. So it looks like the Adani Group is making some bold moves, and the market is definitely responding to it. It'll be fascinating to see how this plays out over time.
Exactly. It also kind of underscores how much market sentiment can shift. One day they are down, and the next they are surging.
Right. Okay, so switching gears a bit, I saw something about Adani Green Energy commissioning a new wind power component. How does that fit into their overall strategy?
That's a great point. Adani Green Energy has commissioned a 57.2 megawatt wind power component of their wind solar hybrid project in Khavda, Gujarat. And this actually increases their total operational renewable capacity to 11,666.1 megawatts. It's a good move.
So they are not just about thermal power, but also actively focusing on renewable energy, which is, important for their long-term vision.
Yes, it's like they are balancing their portfolio. And this new commissioning shows they're actively pushing on both renewable and traditional power sources.
Right. It makes sense that they would want to diversify like that. Okay. And I saw some other updates from Adani Energy Solutions too. What was going on with them?
Well, Adani Energy Solutions shared their Q3 provisional updates, and they've been making progress on the transmission front. Their transmission network has increased and they've won new projects as well.
Okay, so they are expanding their infrastructure quite a bit, right? It seems like they're building up quite the portfolio.
Yeah, their transmission network is now at 26,485 circuit kilometers, and that actually includes both operational and under construction projects. It also shows they're actively securing more projects.
That's a lot of ground covered, and I guess it will all need to be managed. So, what else did they mention in that report?
They also have been focusing on their distribution business with improved distribution losses in Mumbai and have maintained good supply reliability, which is critical for consumers. I mean, that is the bottom line, right?
Right, because having that reliability is super important for everyone who is using their services. How about the smart metering business? Did they share any updates?
Yes, they actually did. Their under construction pipeline stands at 22.8 million smart meters across 9 contracts, which is quite significant.
That's a lot of smart meters. So that's a huge undertaking, I imagine. How does that benefit them and consumers?
It's a pretty large scale rollout, and it's expected to really ramp up soon in in Maharashtra, which can, I think, streamline consumption and improve management. It also creates an opportunity in the future.
Okay, so that is definitely something to look out for. I noticed they mentioned joining the UNISA Alliance. What's that all about?
That's the Utilities for Net Zero Alliance, and it is a global alliance focused on developing grid infrastructure for green energy evacuation. Adani Energy Solutions is the first Indian power and utility company to join, I believe.
That's actually really impressive. So they're making moves to align with global sustainability goals, which I think is definitely important.
Yeah, it demonstrates a commitment to sustainable energy and it fits in with the broader industry trend towards decarbonization.
Okay, I think that is all of the key points. It is great to see them expanding in so many directions, from power generation to transmission, renewable energy, and even smart metering.
It's quite an expansive portfolio, and it shows they're not just focusing on one area, but strategically building infrastructure and capabilities across various sectors.
Definitely. Well, this whole discussion has been a whirlwind tour through the Adani Group's latest activities, I think. So, what's next?
Well, it will be interesting to see how their massive investments pay off and whether they can achieve those ambitious growth targets. We'll have to keep an eye on that and their continued focus on sustainability as well, I guess.
Absolutely. And with the market's reaction, it is clear that investors are definitely watching. So, what do you think is the biggest takeaway from all of this?
I think it highlights the impact of strategic investments and how market sentiment can be influenced by growth plans and the importance of balancing different energy sources to achieve overall progress.